What happens when you feel indestructible? In terms of success, confidence, and even selfishness is praised. But what happens if you have those qualities, give in to destruction for the sake of your goals, but don't make it? The only things we have to base our goals off of is movies, shows, and the celebrities that succeed from them. While we can get a lot of unconventional yet practical wisdom this way, a lot of times we don't know where to draw the line. Over time, our whole lives get entrenched in fantasy, and we may even go out of our way to make sure anything that happens in reality gets filtered through this lens. This ideology has a lot of effects in our entire lives. Even if we're not trying to achieve anything spectacular, across our lives, we expect everything to be grand. Everything we do has to be special or be seen as special in the eyes of the world. In fact, the world's view becomes our own, and our own tastes or opinions get rejected. If this doesn't stop here, things can get out of hand. As you need more and more stimulation for attention and, frankly, fun, there becomes no boundaries for this destructive agency. Your friends, family, and entire lives can become subject to its desires. And before you know it, you're completely lost. And this is by design. It is at this point where the only way out becomes achieving your arbitrary goals that might actually have no possibility of success. This is the space that gets used by celebrities and ideologies to keep you trapped and obsessed with your goal, whatever that may be. The dangerous part is if the goal isn't even your own. Subject to another's desires, you play this game not even for your own sake, but rather to keep you from realizing that none of what you're achieving is yours anyway. And even if it is, that obsession will keep you further away from the achievement of your goals than you realize. The whole point is to keep you from realizing the simple truth that can take you out of the game. But chances are, you're too deep in, and the only way out is to keep playing. Eventually, your whole life may be in ruin, but things keep getting destroyed and tossed into chaos because 1, you're forced to think you're invincible here, and 2, the only way out now is some incredible amount of achievement. We end up thinking of ourselves as movie characters, specifically the main character. He always finds a way out. Someone comes to save him at the last moment. In reality, that never happens. To be honest, we become pretty good at being entertaining. We learn what grabs attention because our own lives are now the subject for spectacle and the stage. This is why actors, celebrities, and creators are able to direct the whole world. They first mastered this space of destruction, of a perverse style of selfish entertainment, and they are able to entrance the world in the same performance. The only problem is what's gatekept. We're not supposed to realize that the best skills are found in the dirt. They're found in the same space, but we're not supposed to know. That's a lot of power. But the thing is, we won't be able to traverse this space if we don't have the skills to understand our own minds and how to transform our emotions into something meaningful. If we don't understand our own psychology, we get stuck. We're too naive and too distant from reality. Instead of playing the game, most people decide to enjoy this same process through the big screen. It's not a bad thing, but if you're on the path towards your goals, this is a gift. Because understanding what you're going through starts with fiction. Stories give us the building blocks of wisdom to start to piece things together. Simply because this same agency of destruction, hubris, and ambition is used for creating the most captivating art forms of all time. Think of some of the most renowned pieces of art. The best movies, the best books, poems, life stories, they all give us a clue to something deeper, a hidden world that only we have opened and accessed. But the danger is still there. We end up getting lost in the stories on the screen because they're more entertaining. They're more captivating. You're kept at a safe distance away from the danger. You can hide behind the art, sit still, and watch the performance. The real problem here is in how our taste develops. Because we've been taught to expect this grandiose feeling in our path, we end up not knowing how to operate when our goals get boring. When we hit that last stretch, we stop, we get confused. Kind of like the eye of the storm. You reach the middle point where your goals are actually possible, but it's peaceful, and you have no idea what to do. Unfortunately, most people don't get here. Everything we're taught about success is wrong. You need skills and taste, sure, but here hard work takes a backseat. The only thing that gets you through to the end is a deep understanding of psychology and your own mind. The paradox is that even the smartest people have no idea what's going on in their brains. But what they have control over is the speed with which they move throughout their beliefs and the world. In the eye of the storm, you should be set up to get across to the next step. But a lot of people make it here with no background. They haven't had to think, or perhaps they even got catapulted here thanks to someone else's help, or they just got lucky. Here, it seems like the best thing to do is start over and build back up. The trick is that the people who fail or succeed believe the same nonsense. The person who fails consistently believes in their redemption. They believe all their efforts will eventually be worth it, even if they never make it. Even if it never works, the person who succeeds effortlessly believes the same. They both believe in a difficult rise to the top. They both know all the hidden esoteric truths and timeless wisdom, yet it only rewards one of them. How do you know which one is you? How do you continue to believe you're invincible when you feel terrible? I guess you'll never know until it's over. I guess the fact that you keep going means something's working. Whether you're gaining experience, learning about yourself, getting skills, or gaining traction, anything means it's working. But what we are never taught is the courage to let go. The courage to give up and leave what you love behind when it's not working for you. The confusion comes because of the fantasy we're grafted into. We don't truly ever know if it's working or not. Even if we have some wins under our belt, it all feels the same until what you've done gets registered into the world. Until people start to know your name, you won't know if what you've done has really made an impact. What ends up happening is you go on full spiritual mode as a way to stay committed to your goals. It becomes an obsessive coping mechanism so you can ignore the reality that you failed and need to find a way to win. It's desperate. And rather than having one foot in reality and one in the metaphysical, everything gets out of whack. You end up completely based out of reality, and nothing you do starts to hit because it's too abstract. Take my videos as an example. Everything has just become a ramble now. Not many real world examples, and it's kind of all a mess. All I need to do is just pivot a little back into reality and give examples, and I can make a lot of progress. But to me, that's boring. Maybe YouTube's just not for me. Maybe I've become more of a writer. I mean, I can barely even edit anymore. I can't perfect anything. Everything has to be loosely thrown together for me to even keep going. All the minutia is worthless to me now. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it opens the door for something new. And maybe even those things like on-screen text and edits are gone from my work because they don't really make a difference. I don't know if that's really true, but is it really worth it to keep going if I have to make work that I feel is terrible just so I can stay on the path? I guess there's only one way to find out. I still love making these videos. It just seems there's a gap in the creation process to the actual posting of my work. And maybe it's just something as simple as my thumbnails that are throwing me off, but this video is the last of this style before I go back to doing strictly art videos and artist thumbnails. I just think these things need to be said. So far, the 2 videos I put out aren't getting pushed at all. Somehow they're the lowest viewed on my channel, and I don't really know why. But anyway, I'm just gonna stop wasting your time with my rambling. Thanks for watching.